Describe the last week in your own words.
The last week has been unprecedented in terms of the amount of time and energy that it's taken and the value of actually engaging with people. I was saying to my partners last night that I've learned a lot of lessons in 1 week. I found a lot of support in South Africa to actually do the right things, and I've had to listen sometimes to really unpleasant feedback and learn to work with it as I move along. So everything has been happening by the hour, by the day.
Most people ask me to ask you, why would you take this job?
I've been asked that question, and I think for me it's the passion that I have for this firm. I recognize that a firm is not just a brand sitting somewhere, it's the people inside the firm. I come from, actually my heritage has been KPMG prior to me doing other things, and I've spent 5.5 years working with real good, credible people. And there are bonds here, and there's a firm here that I truly believe in with a value set that connects with my own. So I really felt it necessary when I was asked to consider taking the job with an understanding that there is support as well. So it's not a one-person job, to tell you the truth, Karabo. Yeah.
You're not a trained accountant, and this is the heart and soul of this business, you know. Are you aware of what you're getting yourself into? Do you think you're being set up for failure?
I've been in this business for, as I say, as a partner for more than 5 years. So I do understand the different businesses that we have to a large extent. I am not an accountant, and actually I think the job of leadership of any entity does not necessarily fall into a particular technical skill. The reason I was selected for this job are beyond the technical ability of being an accountant. I appreciate that I'll need help from accountants. I was joking with someone saying that there are so many of them in this firm that we've got no shortage of that technical knowledge.
South Africans want accountability for what this firm is alleged to have done, for some of the shortcomings that this firm itself has said that they've fallen short of their own standards.
Yeah.
This firm, KPMG, I mean, forgive me, but you get onto social media, I mean, people have made the acronym, you know, I saw one the other day saying KPMG stands for, you know, keeping promises made to Guptas. KPMG will almost, in a sense, always be a byword for state capture, for colluding with the Guptas. How do you move this company, this once respected machinery that you're now in control of, to its glory days?
You know, it really pains me because we have been receiving feedback, and we've been absorbing a lot of that feedback around what has gone wrong in terms of our brand. And I also have thought about it in this way, and maybe that's how I should describe it to you. There is an old world of KPMG that has taken this history, like in any other place. Part of our history is really unpleasant. If I say history, I'm also talking about the near future, because we get asked the question, what if there are other things? We're looking at all of that, Karabo, and making sure that as we rebuild, we start building it from a different leadership paradigm. We build a truly South African firm that is transforming with the right skills of people, the right skills mix, and making sure that we can be a responsible corporate citizen and go beyond that and stand our ground and be counted in the people that have built a positive impact in this country.
Does KPMG have an ethics and moral problem, considering that some of the people that enabled the things that have gone wrong are still with the company?
So, Karabo, I think before I even go there, I do need to again reiterate my unreserved apology for what we've come to know that has taken place in some of those accounts. If I actually reflect on it now, some of the work we should just not have done.
I thought so.
We should just not have gone there.
I thought I was the only one.
No, we shouldn't have done certain types of work. And now we're in a situation where it's history. It's done. Now, I'm apologizing for actually, on behalf of the firm, for actually having had people who have taken on work that we now today know how undesirable it is, not because of only the risks that are associated, also because we have to be clear about our role as a professional services firm. We are a neutral party, we are professionals, we need to carry ourselves with a certain level of care, and we also are careful to make sure that we don't, without thinking hard, lend our valuable name and brand sometimes to things that we do not understand well enough.
Are you putting in processes to make sure that you don't end up in bed with the same kind of nefarious and questionable characters that have led you here? I mean, I think about KPMG, and I think all audit firms really trade on their reputation, and integrity is the only thing that stands between shareholders and companies, and you guys are supposed to be the light that shows us the truth. So how are you going to make sure that you don't, carry more nefarious characters and, probes that ultimately expose KPMG?
So what we're doing is we're looking at processes and systems. For example, what client base do we currently have? Are we exposed in any shape or form in our current environment? And we actually are also looking at how people report on those issues. We're working through the statement, the issues that we identified in the statement of Friday. Let me put it that way. The detail, I think, is one thing. The other thing that we're doing is I've called for an independent inquiry. I believe that it's important to have this inquiry to come and have a look at all those issues that you've just raised, because if there is an issue, elements of our culture that's not working, I need to know. The new leadership needs to hold that and work with it and make sure that we can really rebuild this company.
Going back to your statement on Friday, even the former finance minister yesterday and his deputy yesterday issued a statement saying that for KPMG to restore its own reputation, it needs to be upfront. In fact, I believe the quote was frank, unequivocal, and unambiguous with the truth that you owe South Africans. How do you feel that you're doing on that score?
So I feel, it's really important for us that if there's something that we haven't exposed, we understand what that is. We've put into our statement the results of the KPMG International investigation. But there may be other pieces of information that are not there, and we're happy to share that with the public and to make sure that we open ourselves up. The reason why we want an independent inquiry, Karawa, and I think this is the important part, is because we are actually opening ourselves up to make sure that there's no doubt about the issues that we've raised, and we can have an objective party that is credible have a look at those issues in depth as far as we can, and we will cooperate fully with such an investigation. The second thing is, in our course of reporting, we're going around, we're sharing details around the statement with clients, with stakeholders, with other interested parties. We would invite, and I keep on inviting people to ask for more questions, and where we feel that there are specific areas that we need to clarify further, we will be issuing statements, we will be communicating, and opportunities like this will help as well to communicate some key messages, but we want to communicate directly as well.
Needless to say, you don't have a lot of fans right now. We heard during the week SASFIN pulling you guys as their auditor. How many clients are you meeting? How much queries are you getting in terms of people not wanting to associate with KPMG based on what is currently happening?
We've been in a lot of boardrooms in the past few days, and I'm happy to tell you as well that while it's sad for me to have to come into this role at a time like this, I'm also encouraged by the courage that's shown by corporate South Africa. We've had really tough conversations. We've been asked to report back. We've been asked for a lot of things. We've also received a lot of feedback, good about our people, and we've got clients who have said to us directly that they would not want to see our organization disappear. And we have been retained to do some of those jobs, and I think it's this morning that you saw a notice about Old Mutual. So whilst there will be conversations in boardrooms to reassure clients that we are committed to making this work and to rebuilding. There will also be, at times, clients who are rotating, like SASFIN, and we have to respect that. Our role is to make sure that we can actually make sure that everything is transparent.
Are you worried you will lose more clients?
It's always a worry losing clients, but from where I'm sitting today, we are engaging with our clients. And I think instead of sitting and worrying in the office, my partners are everywhere, doing everything. And what our clients have told me has really given me comfort, Karawa, that we've got really good people. And the quality of work in a lot of the clients that we service is good. And actually South Africa understands that while we are rebuilding and we are running the public inquiry, there is a need to make sure that we're out there, we're talking to people, we're fielding questions as and when they come.
The governor yesterday spent 3 minutes talking about KPMG. It was one of a few parts where he was responding to a media question and had to read his statement. That shows the seriousness at which I think the Reserve Bank is looking at this situation. And I believe he said that the financial stability of the country is at risk, you know, from this KPMG issues. What are you telling the governor? How are you assuring him that he has nothing to worry about? He should go to bed, sleep easy at night.
No, Karaba, let's not make light of serious issues. This matter has affected us as a firm. And it has affected South Africa and trust and belief in the audit profession. So I take it actually quite seriously. And actually, if I listen to the governor and if I'm hearing correctly the messages that he's told us, he is taking it seriously, because not having one of the big four as part of our system actually poses specific risks around the breadth of services that the banking and financial services environment have. So I think it's important to recognize that this is, we're talking to everyone, we're getting in feedback. We are rebuilding. We want an independent inquiry. We want to look at what we're currently doing, and we want to move on responsibly. So we're not running away from our responsibilities, because I think sometimes the way that the matters are put forward is as if we're not hearing. We really are listening, and we're hearing, and we're acting.
BLSA today suspended your membership in the group. What does that mean to you? What kind of conversations have you had with them? And how are you hoping to get back into the group?
We recognize that with what has happened, there's a lot of discomfort, and this is why I'm saying we are engaging with everyone, and including our stakeholders. We are looking forward to engaging with BLSA and getting direct feedback of the rationale behind that. We accept their statement, and we will engage with them.